Hey, welcome at the apocalypse, or the end of my project. Um, my project is about the pre-apocalypse, and to me, these last weeks have been filled with that same imminent dread of the end, which my project is about. Originally, I didn't know what subject to pick at all. I just wanted to make a project that subverted the way that animation normally works, and I did a lot of research into that and tried a couple of different methods in which that could work. But after the presentations, the one I got to work with was me working every week making a single piece of animation that I would have fully produced and have finished within that week. That was the idea, that was the goal, and so I set off on this journey that has been the past couple of months. Pretty soon after, Arif gave me some advice which will stick with me forever, I think, because it was both very funny and very memorable. I told Arif I just wanted to make some shots, and they were gonna be for me, but I wanted them to be shown in something like a museum. In which people would be watching them together and ponder on their meaning. And Arif told me that is like you're masturbating on yourself, and then you're going to stand on a stage in front of people and you're asking them to look at you. Uh, which I thought was very funny and also very poignant in the sense that, that is what it was. It was a masturbatory practice, and I had no thing to show people. So, not very long after, I found a subject that fit me and the place I'm in mentally and arguably also physically, as you'll see later. And that is the pre apocalypse, the moment before things come to an end, before a world ends, specifically. It very quickly came to dominate my entire life, and it still does to a large degree. In everything, I now see an imminent end. And it's not like a threatening thing necessarily, or it's not always bad, but I think it has become a very big part of me, myself, to realize that all things do end and everything does have an end. And now, finally, also this project. At the very beginning, the project worked very much like I had intended it to. I did almost two pieces of animation within almost exactly 2 weeks. But there were like some light troubles that were I was not experimenting as much as I wanted to because I put that pressure on myself for finishing something every week. Then after a little while, suddenly there came some setbacks. Some obstacles came onto my course. I was struggling with depression and unmedicated ADHD. I had trouble with school balancing the practices and the major at the same time. That was very much something I had not anticipated. I don't know why. I I guess I figured, oh, I'll just leave the practices for what they are. But I chose social practices, and I'm very much involved and engaged with social practices. I guess, sadly, I really like doing that, and so my attention kind of got split in that. And then there was a third issue, which very much relates to the project itself, which is that I am in a very new relationship. I'm very happy in it. However, it does have some very innate problems in that we both see some things very differently. And my parents are ending their relationship, they are getting a divorce. And so I am very much at the same time confronted with both a beginning of relationship and an end, and that is very much weighing on me, while also deepening my interest into the subject a lot. However, during all of these struggles that I was experiencing at this time, I kind of strayed off the path. I wasn't doing the animation as tightly as I wanted it to. And so I kind of came into a crossroads. I had to decide, do I want to continue trying this the way I originally designed it, or do I want to change it into something that's more resembling of traditional animation and give that a go and do the work I know I can do and produce the work that I had already been working on, just hadn't finished yet. And because I had a couple of conversations with Arif mostly that were about making choices into what do you want to do this project, I had decided I want to produce something. I want to make a work and I want to have it be finished, or as close to finished as I could have it by the end. So I decided for the second option. I decided I would continue working on the things I had already made and go with the more traditional animation crunch at the end. And so that's what I've been doing for the past couple weeks, past 2 weeks to be precise. And now it's almost finished. And I'm pretty happy with it. I'm happy with how the project turned out. And I learned a lot, I think. I learned that I can do it, which may not sound like much, but to me is a very big step. I learned how much a subject matters for what you're gonna make. Not just for myself, but also for the people that would be watching it, and how I can engage with, oh, now I can think of what people are gonna watch it. What are they gonna think when they're watching it? How do I present it so that that message comes across instead of just making shots? I don't know how I even thought that would be a thing, but I'm very glad Arif told me out of it, and it's a lesson I will always remember. I learned that for the project I wanted to do the kind of animation workflow that I would have wanted, you cannot have another project on the side as well if you bind it that tightly. If you want to do a piece of animation within a week, you cannot also be doing practices. And so standing here at the apocalypse of it all, I think I can look back on what I've done in the time before, in the pre-apocalypse, and I can be happy. I have done what I wanted, and I've learned my lessons along the way, and most of them thanks to you. And so thank you very much. And off we go. Until the next apocalypse, I suppose. Cheers.